want to take this moment to publicly speak to our daughter Zaya. Zaya, as your father, all I've wanted to do was get it right. I've sat back and watched how gracefully you take it on the public scrutiny. And even though it's not easy, I watched you walk out of the house every morning as yourself. I admire how you've handled the ignorance in our world. I admire that you face every day. To say that your village is proud of you is an understatement. Thank you for showing me that there's more than just one way to communicate effectively. You taught me that communication with my mouth isn't enough. I have to also communicate with my 2 ears and my 2 eyes. As your father, my job isn't to create a version of myself or direct your future. My role is to be a facilitator to your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams.
All right, guys. So they say that stories like this are supposed to be prevented by having a father in the life of a child. Okay. This is not supposed to happen if you have a father in the life of a child. However, what they fail to leave out is having a good father, right? There's a caveat. You need a good father in the life of a child to prevent stories like this. And this story right here is a prime example of how Dwyane Wade is just simply not a great father, in my opinion. In fact, he's probably one of the worst fathers I can think of that is a celebrity, because he has officially transitioned his son into a daughter. Okay, they've changed his legal name and gender, right? They've changed that officially, despite pushback from the mother. Now, again, you usually see situations and stories like this in the reverse, where you have the mother trying to transition the child, right? Usually it's some type of like divorce situation, where the mother has custody of the child, and then, you know, the child gets messed up because, again, the father's not in their life. Then the mother goes and tries to transition the child, and then the father pushes back and says, no, I don't want to transition my son or my daughter or whatever. And usually it's the father fighting, right? The father is fighting for common sense and decency and for their child not to be taken advantage of. However, again, this situation right here is reversed, which makes this situation so terrible, in my opinion, because, again, you have Dwyane Wade, who is the father of his son, Zion, transitioning or pushing the transition of Zion into Zaya, okay, making his son a daughter, which, again, is just, again, I don't, you know, I'm not surprised by anything that you see in 2023. Okay, we really live in the cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world. But again, this story right here, again, is a kind of a crazy story that I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get into it. And I apologize for the sound. I'm in a temporary location. It'll just be for the day. So I apologize ahead of time for the sound. So without further ado, let's get into it. It's a happy day in the Wade household as Dwyane transgender daughter Zaya has been granted an official name and gender change. On Friday, a Los Angeles County judge signed off on the new legal identity for the 15-year-old, according to TMZ, after her proud father first petitioned the court in August 2022. Yeah, so Dwyane Wade couldn't wait until Zion was, 18, right? Dwyane Wade, because, again, he's woke, okay? He's a part of Hollyweird. His current wife, Gabrielle Union, is also a part of Hollyweird, and she's probably the one that's most responsible for this. Pressured, their son into doing this. Now they're doing it before the age of 18. Again, which, I got questions about, is this young man or boy, is he on hormones? Right? Is he doing any type of surgical transitioning? There's a whole lot of questions that I have in my mind about what's going on here. The teenager is now legally female. Again, notice that, female, right? Not legally a girl, not legally a woman, female. This is what they're doing, okay? They're trying to basically intermix gender and sex, but they told people on the right, they told conservatives that you're not supposed to do that. They called us stupid and uneducated for doing that. Now, the left is trying their hardest to do just that, okay? They want to make biological boys or men or males, they want to be able to say that if they believe that they're female, then they are a biological female. Okay, they're biologically female. That is the goal. And her full legal name is Zaya Malachi Amarius Wade. Zaya, whom Dwyane shares with ex-wife Savannah Funches, came out as trans in February 2020. Again, a teenager coming out as transgender. Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. The retired NBA star and Funches, who divorced in 2010 after 8 years of marriage, had differing opinions on how to handle the matter. The athlete, 41, has consistently advocated for Zaya's right to, quote, live more comfortably and honestly in all aspects of his life, while Funches, also 41, has accused her ex of pressuring their child to move forward with a name and gender change in order to capitalize on financial opportunities. Ding, 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 ding. That's what a lot of this is about, right? Dwyane Wade, his child, right? He is basically took his child on a tour. Okay, I think he took his child on Ellen, or maybe he's talked about his child on Ellen or whatever. Regardless, he showcased his child kind of like a what they call like a designer child. At least that's what I call it, right? Designer children, okay? Where again, they use their children as like projects, okay? Where they say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing to my kid, right? And you're supposed to celebrate it. And if you don't celebrate it, you're a bigot, okay? You're a transphobe and you're ignorant. Just like Dwyane Wade implied at the beginning of this video when he was at the NAACP Awards. I believe that's what it was, something like that. Yeah, he said basically, if you don't agree with me transitioning my 15-year-old son, then you're a bigot. Amazing, right? Amazing. This is what they default to when they don't have an argument, is that you're bigot and you're ignorant and you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, no. I think that it is reasonable. Okay, the mother is reasonable here in the sense that she's saying that the child should wait until the age of 18. And then after that, he can do what he want to do. Now, again, this is not my son, so I really don't care that much. But at the same time, I do feel compelled to stand up for, people and kids that can't make their own decisions. Clearly, when you're under the age of 18, you can't really consent to this type of stuff. You can't really consent. But, hey, it is what it is. I mean, this is what's happening. But again, you best believe this is definitely helping Dwyane Wade when it comes to getting in the good graces of the Hollywood overlords. For sure. There's no doubt. There's no doubt he's getting clout and opportunities based off the fact that he's transitioning his child. There's no doubt in my mind. Okay. There's definitely woke brownie points to be had here and financial opportunities to be had. Dwyane called the claims nonsensical in a November 2022 filing, adding, quote, while it certainly would have been preferable for Zaya's mother to be supportive of this important part of Zaya's journey, Zaya should not be forced to put her life on hold while she waits for Savannah to acknowledge and accept her truth. Her truth. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. Zion's life is not being put on hold by saying, look, you need to wait till you're 18 before you start doing all this transition stuff, right? Their life is not being put on hold. He can still freely live. He can still freely be himself, but you don't need to be doing all this transitioning, right? He can make the decision once, he's legally able to make the decision. He went on to explain how the requested amendments to Zaya's identity would act in, quote, her best interest, with simple instructions and food orders to applying for a driver's license and filling out college applications. So as you can see here, this is Dwyane Wade's son/daughter, right? He's now a daughter legally, right? In California. Let me not misgender a minor, okay? So there we go. But Funches, who used her daughter's dead name of Zion in her opposition, claimed she wanted Zaya to wait to make the changes herself when she turned 18. I'm very disappointed that Funches continuously finds ways of centering herself and her needs without regards to her children, the basketball player penned on social media in response. He called his ex, with whom he also shares 21-year-old Zaya, an absent parent, who allegedly did not reach out to Zaya's teachers, doctors, and therapists about her purported concerns, claims Funches insisted were completely untrue. Yeah, I mean, well, look, here's the thing. What's the point of reaching out to the teachers, doctors, and the therapists? They're all woke, right? They're all on board with transitioning the child, right? So what's the point of even talking to them about it? Because they're going to do it anyways, right? They're going to say you're a bigot, you're a transphobe, and that's it. That's just what it is. Dwyane went on to write that he and wife Gabrielle Union, who are parents to 4-year-old daughter Kavia, would never, quote, force Zaya or any of their children to do anything against their will, much less force an identity on them. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I believe this is definitely the doing of Gabrielle Union, 100%. Dwyane Wade, as a basketball player, as a star basketball NBA player, travels a lot, right? He doesn't have a lot of time to spend with his kids. And basically, Gabrielle Union took on Zion as her daughter, okay, and was taking him to pride parades and stuff like that. That is what she was doing, right? She was exposing him to this lifestyle. Again, her little project. Because look, at the end of the day, that's not her son. Like, biologically, that's not her son, right? So she, again, to her, again, to me, I see it as an experiment, right? That's the way that I'm thinking she's seeing it. Oh, it's cute if I make this little boy, wear lipstick and put on a dress, and eventually, they're a girl, right? I have my own little daughter, right? I mean, I'm just saying. And I think maybe they actually do have a daughter together. I'm not sure. But regardless, again, I think Gabrielle Union is behind this. And Dwyane Wade, to me, is a weak father for not standing his ground and standing up to something that he knows is not right. Again, this is simp behavior, classic simp behavior, which is unnecessary for somebody like Dwyane Wade, because, I mean, he doesn't need Gabrielle Union, okay? He can do better than her, right? He doesn't need her. But, hey, it is what it is. This is, again, simp behavior. And his initial request, Dwyane noted he had full authority to proceed without Funch's consent, and as he had sole custody since 2011, but that she had been told as a courtesy. He is also dad to 9-year-old Xavier, who he co-parents with Asia Meteor. Okay, so hey, it is what it is. And this is a sad situation. But I mean, this is Dwyane Wade's son. I mean, it is what it is. I just think that the example that they're putting out here for, kids and parents is not a good example, right? I think that is one of those things where the whole point is to try to push it on the rest of society. And this is why I speak out against it. Not because I really, am that into it, right? Because again, it's not my kid, not my family, right? But they're making it public. They're pushing it out in people's faces, saying, hey, look, this is what we're doing to our son. This is, okay. This is acceptable. And you got to push back against it because, again, the goal is to make it so this stuff is more commonplace. And you got to stand up for kids and children who just don't have the ability to consent to this stuff and know exactly what they're doing. So who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.